morning. We've got another dude bro in the villa. Don't worry, brother. Let me steer you back towards the path of enlightenment. So while parts of your comment are technically correct, you seem to be implying that nonfiction is better than fiction because it requires more brain power, thinking, and processing skills than reading a fiction book would. What you seem to be forgetting, though, is that fiction and nonfiction serve entirely different purposes. While it could be true that nonfiction takes more brain power, processing, and critical skills to analyze and incorporate all the information, I've read some fiction books that can be just as dense and just as heavy on information, whether that be historical or scientific, and also tell you just as much about key historical events or scientific discoveries. Also, if you've had the pleasure of reading any classics, which according to this comment, I don't think you have, you would realize that reading classical fiction could be considered just as dense and difficult to get through than reading a nonfiction book. Saying that nonfiction is better than fiction shows that you clearly don't understand the different functions that both of them serve. Fiction increases your emotional intelligence, it enables you to empathize with other people's perspectives, it improves your cognition skills, and in this day and age, I think it is important to read fiction because empathy and emotional intelligence seems to be lacking in a lot of the general population. I love fiction, but if I'm gonna be honest, I have sort of a love-hate relationship with nonfiction. My issue with nonfiction is that it's written by humans, and humans make mistakes. That means that oftentimes some nonfiction books are riddled with inaccuracies, filled with biases from the author, and often contain false or outdated narratives. What seems to happen with a lot of the popular nonfiction these days is that a couple of nonfiction books will get really popular, and then everyone will just take it as gospel. For example, the 48 Laws of Power, The Art of War, The Let Them Theory, Sapiens. As with anything you're consuming, you should be consuming a wide variety of authors to get a broader perspective on these views. Okay, so this was marketed as a melon ball at the store. This is genuinely just a mini watermelon, which I'm fine with because I love watermelon, but I thought this was going to be like a cantaloupe. Long story short, let people read whatever they want.